like talent is really nice to have, but working hard and harder than anybody else, that's what will make the difference.
This is the Artist Coaching Podcast.
Hey everyone, what's up and welcome back to another podcast. Today we have a special guest. His name is Jeroenski. I've known him from a few years actually, and he's going to talk today a little bit more about the Herman Brood Academy here in Holland. So welcome Jeroenski.
Thank you, man.
Hey man, how are you?
Pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good. Sounds nice. Yeah. Hey, so tell a little bit more about yourself, because I know you and I know what your history in the music industry is, but for all the people who don't know, who is Jeroenski?
Well, I used to be a semi-famous DJ producer back in the day. And
what time are we talking about? 10 years, 8 years?
Well, I started DJing, I guess, like 25 years ago.
Wow. Okay, I'm 28.
Yeah, I'm really old. I started as a mobile DJ and just as a hobby. And when I quit my school, I was like, okay, I really don't know what I want to do, but I'm really interested in music. I was buying records and writing some reviews for a magazine and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, maybe it's cool to work at a record store or at a record company.
And this is a vinyl record company or like a label?
I started working at Outland Records. Yeah. Which at that time was like, they had like 2 or 3 top 40 hit singles at the time.
Okay, in dance music or?
Yeah. They had Deep Zone, It's Gonna Be Alright.
Oh, right, cool.
Kelly, My Love, and a couple of other tracks like that. And they were like charting all over Europe.
Cool, classics.
Yeah, definitely. But mostly they did underground music, stuff by Dimitri and Eric Nuhan, stuff like that.
I guess for a lot of people who are listening now, those names are unknown, but they are like big names when it comes down to the funding of house music.
Yeah, definitely. They were like, the first names that started playing only house music in Amsterdam and in the Netherlands. So I was starting. I was working at the record company at the time, and I did that for I guess 2 years. Then I worked at another record company, and this Orange Records. They released some stuff by Romanthony. You remember Romanthony?
Yeah, I know his name, but I don't know any tracks of him.
Well, for the listeners, he's the voice of One More Time by Daft Punk.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay.
He's also a producer. He passed away a few years ago, unfortunately. But we were releasing his tracks, and they also had a studio there. And that's when I first saw, okay, there are guys really making records here. Because back then, kids, this was a long time ago, you needed to have a studio that cost 100,000 or 150,000 euros to make something that sounded decent.
Yeah, that's quite different from nowadays when you just need your laptop.
Yeah, absolutely, a huge difference. So they had a studio like that, and there was also always some spare time, and I was working on some stuff with the engineer, and that's where I made my first records.
Okay, cool.
And so I was now making some records. I was working at a record company, and I was DJing a little bit.
In Amsterdam, or?
Well, at that time, I started a residency at the Waakzaamheid, which was one of the 3 clubs in Holland that started playing house music. You had Roxy, It, and Waakzaamheid.
Okay.
And I started there as a resident. So every Saturday I was opening and closing, and in the middle there was a famous guest DJ. So I was there from like 10 till 6 in the morning.
Wow.
For 2 years, every Saturday.
So I guess that was the place for you where you actually really learned how to DJ and get inspired by all the bigger DJs at the time.
Yeah. And I saw how important it was to open a night with like a real opening set.
Mm-hmm. Start off soft and end a little bit harder.
Yeah, and have the room really ready for the guest DJ. And when the guest DJ leaves, to keep the people inside.
Yeah, to finish it off.
Yeah, but like it was really important for the owner that the longer people stayed, the more he could sell the drinks. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's where I really learned how to DJ. After that, I started making more and more records, and did also some DJ gigs besides that. Mm-hmm. Then I became the resident of Las Palmas in Rotterdam.
Yeah.
And at that time, I was probably doing, I think it was 2006, something like that. Around that time, I was doing like 10 gigs a month, I guess.
Okay, and that was also the period from Sneakers, right? That's the same.
Yeah, definitely.
For all the people who are listening, Sneakers was like a concept from it was actually, in my opinion, one of the first young concepts that did a lot of events in Holland.
Yeah,
and they did records. They released records. I think they were a part of Spinnin as well, right?
Not at the time. It was set up by One Management. Mm-hmm. Which was the booking agency for a couple of the bigger names in Holland. Yeah. And they also had a guy there who did the events. I think they had a guy in-house that did the label. Okay. And now I think they sold the whole back catalog to Spinning.
Okay. Well, it was at that time it was a really big thing because everyone wanted to play at Sneakers parties. So you were a part of that. Me as well.
Yeah, definitely. I played a whole bunch of parties and festivals for them. Mm-hmm. And I was DJing a resident at Las Palmas, which had like international headliners every week. Mm-hmm. I think I played with David Guetta there 3 or 4 times. Like the biggest names of the world that came there. Okay. And I was a resident of Housequake at that time. Mm-hmm. And that's where I met Fedde Legrand. And we played back-to-back opening sets for the headliners there.
Nice.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I can imagine. How old were you? How old were you back then?
I think 26, 27.
Okay.
Something like that.
Okay, and so from there your career just kickstarted and you did a lot more releases. I actually know you from Your Mind is Twisted track. Mm-hmm. With Rogue and his brother.
I think it was released 2007, 2008, something like that.
Was that like your biggest release?
No, the biggest one was Back Once Again.
Oh yeah, of course. Okay, nice.
Yeah, that was released on CR2. Mm-hmm. It was crazy time. Pete Tong played it like 3 weeks in a row.
On radio?
Yeah, on radio, BBC Radio 1.
And how did it go back then? Like, was it normal for you to play in different countries like it is nowadays?
I was doing like 10, 15 gigs a month in Holland. Mm-hmm. It was a difficult choice because I got some requests from outside of Holland. But it was like choosing between doing 1 gig abroad or doing like 4 gigs in Holland.
Yeah, I can imagine because it's so small and tiny here in Holland. You can do like in the festival scene at least you can do like 3 to 4 gigs a day, and that's a lot more money, of course.
Yeah, it was definitely more appealing money-wise. But every once in a while, I did some gigs outside of Holland.
Mm-hmm.
And in total, I think I did like 25 different countries.
Cool.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And that's the cool thing about DJing outside of Holland. You get to go to cities and places you would probably never go to.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, that's the part I liked as well.
Yeah.
But how did you came because what do you do nowadays? Like, what's your profession nowadays?
Well, I'm now working at the Herman Brood Academy.
Mm-hmm. How did you end up there?
Yeah, well, I was at the Amsterdam Dance Event probably 6 or 7 years ago, and there was this guy working there, and his name was Mark Otte.
Oh yeah, he's also a famous DJ trance legend, right?
Yeah.
Still playing.
Big trance guy, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
And he set up this dance producer education thing, and I was like really interested in what he was doing. So I was asking him some questions. So, okay, how does it work, and what do you do all day, and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And we end up talking about 20 minutes, 30 minutes. It was just like a random conversation with a guy I thought had an interesting job, nothing else.
Yeah.
And like a month later, or a couple of weeks later, I can't really remember, he sent me a message saying, okay, would you like to come and work for us? I was like, okay. I didn't see myself
as a teacher.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, because you were still playing. That was your full-time job back then, right? Just being an artist.
Yes, DJ producer. But my biggest period was kind of over.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't have as much fun doing it as I did before. So it was like, okay, I can do this 1 day a week and just see how it goes.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how I ended up there, I guess 6 or 7 years ago.
Okay, and now you're teaching, producers, future producers, DJs, maybe even other artists, rappers as well?
No, we got a couple of different departments. Mm-hmm. One is the pop rock, which is like the bands, guitarists, singers, drummers, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. We got the hip hop department, and we got the dance producers. I'm working for the dance producers department now. I'm only teach dance producers. Okay,
and can you tell me a little bit more about how this education works, as in how does a normal day at the Herman Brood Academy looks like? Because I can imagine that, at least from my point of standing, like I've been to the Rock Academy myself here in Holland, mm-hmm. and a lot of people were, especially people from other countries, were asking me like, how the hell is it possible that you have to go to school and learn how to produce music? You know, like it's an official school here in Holland. That's pretty special.
Yeah, it's definitely a special thing.
Yeah, and a lot of people just don't know how to see it, because like what do you learn at a school like that? Because it's like a 4-year education, right?
No, 3 year.
Oh, 3 year. Okay, so what's a few things that you can learn there in those 3 years?
Well, first of all, people look at it from the outside and think it's like a big playground. Mm-hmm. And it definitely is, but first and foremost, we're a regular school.
Yeah, you have to get your grades. You have to get a lot of.
Yeah, definitely. You have to come on time.
Yeah, that's especially one important thing.
Yeah, that's really important. You got courses like Dutch, English, and calculus. Mm-hmm. Because, like I said, we're a regular school, so it's important to learn how to read and write in Dutch and English.
Yeah, sure.
So that's what we do. Then 9 hours a week they can work in their own little studio.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's actually kind of special because I've been to the school a few times.
Mm-hmm.
But you actually have like a basement full of studios, right? There's like I think 15 maybe.
No, 33.
33 studios. That's crazy.
Yeah, we got they're like small studio units.
Mm-hmm.
Fully isolated, with a set of speakers in it and a little table, and and they can step into their own studio, hook up the laptop, and get a MIDI keyboard or a microphone or whatever they need to produce their stuff. Yeah,
you can rent it, right? It's like a rental place where you can get all the extra stuff besides the speakers and the MIDI keyboard and the sound card.
Yeah, and every year I can make a little wish list of things I would like to have.
That must be nice.
Yeah, really. I'm still waiting. I ordered the TR303 or cool. TR03 or something.
Cool. You didn't order the one from Daft Punk, right? Because they're selling theirs.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think it's a little bit of over budget, but it's making it work.
I just saw it last week on the internet that they're selling their. I think it's their drum computer or something. The one they made their first album with.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's probably custom.
Yeah, that's a lot. But let's go back to the beginning. Like, what is it for an artist to be at the Herman Brood Academy? As in, how does a normal week there looks like? What kind of lessons can you get?
Yeah, okay. So we have Dutch English calculus.
Mm-hmm.
Then 9 hours a week they're working in the little studio.
Mm-hmm. It's like a free time.
No. It's time in the roster.
Okay.
So they have to be there at that point at that time because there are 2 teachers walking around.
Okay, but it's time that they have to make music there.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
And they're probably half of the time working on an assignment.
Mm-hmm.
And the other half of the time they're working on their own stuff.
And what's an example of the assignment? As in, here's a vocal and try to compress it as good as possible, or?
But also like the first assignment they get. Is speaking of Daft Punk, is the first assignment they get at the first day is okay. This is a track by Daft Punk. It's called Da Funk.
Mm-hmm.
Go make your own version of it.
Okay, so like a remix.
No, it has to be really close to the original.
Oh, they need to remake it.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty hard.
Definitely. Nobody likes that assignment.
No, but it's really hard because you have to do the musical part, as in you have to know the right notes and the right chords, and then you have to do the music production around it. So it's pretty tough. Yeah,
definitely. But it's knowing the tricks to make a record sound okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's only half of being a good artist, I guess. Yeah. Because you have to be creative. And you have to know how to play the instrument. You have to know a little bit about notes and like musical theory.
Mm-hmm. Like piano lessons.
Yeah. We also have piano lessons.
Mm-hmm.
Back to the courses. So we got the piano lessons. Then they got. Business.
Yeah. So only the business part from the music industry?
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah. And it's really broad. So it goes from copyrights, how does it work? Contracts, how does it work? Okay, you make a record. What rights do you have?
Mm-hmm.
neighboring rights, stuff like that. But also, how does a record company work?
I think that's a smart move, because I think a lot of people don't know that there's so much around it. There's so much to it, to being an artist. It's not just making a record and put it out there and be famous, but there's so many things going on the background, and that's probably the part where you learn in the business school.
That's what we try to teach them.
Okay.
And also how not to make like the first couple of rookie mistakes.
Mm-hmm. Like signing major deals with 5 years of agreements and
stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds nice.
Yeah, also, if you understand that a record company is a business and not just your new best friends.
Yeah.
Because they're not there to be your friend. They're there to make some money, which is okay. But you have to realize that.
That's definitely it. That's what I always try to say with my coaching as well. Like, you have to realize that you're running a company. You have to do taxes. You have to keep on thinking about investments and all the things around it. It's a lot.
Yeah, definitely. So that's what we also teach them. It's more about when you're an artist, DJ producer. You're like a one-man business. Yeah.
You're like the janitor, the director, the CEO, the graphics designer.
Everything.
You're everyone in one. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So that's what we teach them at the business lessons.
Okay, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
And what's like the most important thing the student learns on the Herman Brood Academy? Like, when they finish the school after 3 years, what do you think is the most important thing they've learned in those 3 years?
I hope they learn a little bit more than just one thing.
The most important thing.
Yeah.
Just to be aware of the fact that there's more, or?
Maybe, but also I think it's really important that they understand the value of having a really good network.
Mm-hmm.
We're just trying to equip them as best as we can.
Yeah, just prepare them.
Yeah, for like everything from changes to the genre you're making,
mm-hmm.
To understanding how the business works, to working on your network and getting to know people and how does it work? How do you interact with people? Stuff like that.
And is that also a thing that you work on? As in, do they need to go to Amsterdam Dance Event? Do they need to go to Dance Fair? Do they have to be there? Like, is it how do you say it in English?
Obligatory, I think. Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
For the guys in the first year, we always go with the whole class to Amsterdam ADE Next.
Mm-hmm. That's where the panels are, right?
Yeah, and it's like the day where it's okay to run around stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
We give them a couple of assignments and say, okay, do this and see this and talk to people.
Yeah, just shake hands.
Yeah. And like Dance Fair, we have our own room for the past 2-3 years, I guess.
Mm-hmm. And is that a place where like the college people give their seminars, or is it a place where the teachers give seminars about the school?
At Dance Fair, the teachers give the seminars,
mm-hmm.
And not so much about the school, but really about like production and stuff like that.
Okay, nice.
So it's more or less like lessons that we do during the week. We do that now as a master class during the fair.
Okay, nice.
Yeah. So that's really important for us that we go there all together and that they learn the value of working with the network and stuff.
Yeah, and just experience the fact that you're in the middle of the scene because everyone's there at the moment.
Yeah.
Okay, and how? Because one thing that I probably need to talk about is like Martin Garrix went to the Herman Brood Academy. It's a thing that's really popular, but that's made the school a lot more popular, I guess, especially internationally seen.
Yeah.
What's the thing that you noticed from this? Like, are there a lot more people who are applying to go on that school, or?
Yeah, when at first when it came out that he was at the school, we got like hundreds of mails from across the world.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And I think probably every week I get requests from people that want to go to the school. Just today there was a guy from India saying, "Okay, I want to come to the school."
Yeah, that's crazy. They just want to move and take their stuff and come here and go to the school.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's insane to me I would never go to India to go to a school, because there was one guy that's world famous now.
Yeah.
That went there.
Yeah, but that's what I was saying first. Like, it's pretty special that you can go to school here in Holland, and which actually is a certified school. It's like official.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Definitely.
You can get your degree here, and it's like you're an official artist at the end if you make it.
Yeah.
But people underestimate it, in my opinion, because how hard is it to get on the Herman Brood Academy? Like, how are the intake weeks?
Oh,
or days?
yeah. Well, we just finished for next year, actually.
Oh, nice. So tell me a little bit more about that. Like, what do you expect from people who are finally get approved to come to the school?
Well, first of all, they have to have the right pre-education,
which is
it's like MAVO or HAVO. I really don't know how that would translate in English.
Me neither. I think it's just high school or something.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Oh, vocational.
Vocational. Okay. We've learned something today.
Yeah. Okay, so that's important. And then they have to fill in like a huge form on the website.
Yeah.
They have to send in some tracks, and they have to send let us know why they want to come to the school, and what they have done in the past, because we're looking for like young professionals that have a dream, but that are also already working on that dream. Yeah, and they need to be willing to put in the work, because it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. Yeah, definitely. So they really need to be motivated. Yeah, crazy motivated. But I really like it when there's this guy coming over and he's really enthusiastic about like the party he does once a month in the little bar around the corner. Because then he already knows how difficult it is to get people there. Yeah. And how difficult it is to get a venue. And he's not just dreaming, he's already doing. Yeah, and that's the most important thing. Like, they have to start from themselves, and they kind of need you to guide you along the way, like give them a head start. Yeah, but like it's cool to have a dream, but most of the times it's not. The reality is always different. Yeah, definitely. And if you're already working in a direction at whatever level, you know how difficult it is to get there already. And that's way more important than just a guy who has a dream. Yeah, and even when you're there at the end, like, the most difficult part is staying there, in my opinion. Like, it's kind of hard to get there and to get a hit and to get noticed by a lot of people and to bookers and to agencies and stuff. But that's actually relatively easy if you compare it to staying on the level, because that's the moment where people are expecting things from you and where the pressure gets high. Yeah, definitely. Crazy. Yeah. So I think people have a
better vision of what the school is and what school means. Like if someone wants to go to the Herman Brood Academy, like you already told me that the first weeks are already done for the next year, like the interns or the intakes.
Yeah. We got 33 new students.
Okay, nice. From how many people try to?
I guess 300, 400, something like that.
That's a pretty tough selection.
Yeah, it's brutal.
Yeah. Okay, so if people would like to apply now, it's probably for the next year, so 2019.
Yeah, but it's not open yet. You can apply, I think, from January till March or something.
Okay, it's something to keep their eye on if they're interested.
Yeah, definitely. Of course.
And last but not least, I'm wondering if you have like one tip to producers or DJs or other artists out there that could help them, that could help them really in their career.
I think maybe like talent is really nice to have, but working hard and harder than anybody else, that's what will make the difference.
Yeah, I totally agree.
When you were talking about Martin Garrix, he's like crazy talented, first of all, but there was nobody working harder than he was.
Yeah, I can imagine. Like that's the most important thing. Like even when you're less talented than someone else, but you're working harder, in my opinion, the chances are bigger that you're getting through. You know, because you're putting in more work than the other is doing. Absolutely,
and especially with the people that are really, really talented, you see a lot that they're getting lazy because they're so talented that they were always better than everybody else.
And it comes easy to them.
Yeah. And for myself, I'm not really talented. I got a little bit of talent, but not a lot. But I was working so hard that I got a pretty decent career out of it.
Yeah. To me as well. Actually, I've always been saying like I'm not really an artist myself. I didn't know how to read notes. I didn't know how to play the piano. I just started making music and put in a lot of time finding out how all these things worked. And I ended up having a career of 10 years. So it is possible, you know.
Yeah, no, then you definitely have a talent.
Yeah, some kind of, but I definitely know that people like Martin Garrix or Hardwell are way more talented than I am.
Yeah, okay.
Definitely.
Yeah, but that's the level of guys that are A, really talented, and B, are working crazy hard.
Exactly, that's best of both worlds.
Yeah, and then you get to be the best DJ of the world.
Yeah, exactly. That's what the result is.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, cool, man. I'm just gonna say thanks because I have to go to the next one. But I just want to say thanks to you for this conversation. I think a lot of people have more information about the school and what they need to know to get there and what's all possible there. So thanks again for taking the time to talk with me.
Cool, man. Thanks for having me.
Sure, no problem, man. Speak soon.
Yeah.
Bye.